Okay, so welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm reacting to a video sent to me by Keezy. So if you guys don't know who Keezy is, he's another fashion YouTuber who I watch and I talk to on a regular basis. And from time to time, he sends me these like really interesting videos to watch. And a while ago, he sent me this video and I plan to do a reaction on the channel. So I haven't actually watched it just because I know it's going to be interesting. And it's called These Fashion Influencers Are Annoying by Strawberry Park. So let's get straight into the reaction.
So this tweet popped up on my thing. It has 20 million views. Fashion MFers are at the point of no return.
Fashion's subjective though.
It is subjective to some extent.
Right now your fit, go.
Number 9, Spring Summer '06, sticky shorts, whatever, LGB, fur hoodie, and
What about you? What you got on?
Oh,
Jesus. What's that hair?
I got Dirk Bickenbergs on the feet.
and they
Hey, the hair is avant-garde. It's avant-garde.
smoking cigs too.
The 6 was 9. I got LGB, Vivian Westwood, Hysteric, and Mihara Yasuhiro, and Chrome.
Vivian, the Vivian?
Yeah.
What do the BandAids represent? What are they? They Margiela or
And the
what?
BandAid on the nose.
They just Walgreens, man, that's the wave.
Initial first thoughts on that.
I let everybody just do that.
Okay, those people, fashion is their
Do you think they like are models that just take home the clothes, or like they're out there trying to have the best fit every day?
No, they would love to be a Balenciaga model. But the thing
I can assure you, you're not getting archive pieces like that off a runway when these runways happened like ages ago. So they're definitely buying it. I like their clothes. Their aesthetics are really like cool. I don't know, it's like really cool.
is, they be dropping money on these pieces.
So these are expensive garments. And
Thousands of dollars on clothes.
Now, I'd be curious at like what do you do to afford this
Right,
stuff?
right.
Because you could be into fashion, but sometimes you don't have the money to afford these avant-garde pieces that from a drop that was years ago from this designer that nobody knows about. The culture is if you know, you know.
Is their personality clothes, or do they?
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, they hang out and talk about clothes. They probably design their own stuff. Like that's what they do.
Well, okay, I just want to pause it because I will say that, like, based on all the videos I've reacted to, I don't actually know these guys like Strawberry Park. Maybe they are into fashion. They seem to have a good fashion knowledge. Like, most people, like when you watch TikTok and you watch other YouTube videos, when they react to people wearing like avant-garde clothing or people that spend a lot of money on their clothes, it's always the same, like, these people are crazy, this is so dumb, how can you spend this much money and look homeless, all that sort of stuff. And like, it just seems like there's no real understanding. But these guys here definitely have a good level of knowledge on fashion to know that they're wearing archive fashion and it's avant-garde and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting. They're more knowledgeable than most people I react to that normally react to these type of things.
That's the same way with people with sports. Like there could be a guy that just wants to train MMA every day all of his life, be competitive, go to Iceland to go to the biggest MMA gym, go to California to be part of that gym.
It's like a meter, like a fashion meter. On the left, you got like, okay, I'm just gonna go to Walmart and Target, get whatever that looks good. You got the hype beast that'll just get the trendy stuff. Then you got the people that
LGB.
this is all the way.
If
broke
6
the
was
meter.
9, I was like, what brand?
Yeah.
Le Grand Blue. Of course, the Dirk.
Dirkenberg.
Doug Bickenberg.
Doug Dimmadome. Dirk Birkenberg.
Nah, we can't allow these guys destroy a famous member of the Antop 6 like that. It's Doug Bickenberg. Come on, guys.
Okay.
Rack for those boots.
If 6 was 9, rare.
What are these names?
He also name dropped it like if 6 was 9, Dirk.
Like if you knew what it was. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm the same way with, we got the Rick Owens on. That's because I know exactly what Rick Owens are. If I said Rick Owens to my parents, why don't you just get shoes from Target? I bet to my parents, I'm these people.
That was like me wearing all the different colorful shoes in high school. My parents were like, just let them rock.
LGB.
What he said is just facts. Like when he said, I bet to my parents I'm these people. Because I am like that to my parents. And I don't think I dress that avant-garde I used to. But I think as I've gotten older, I've kind of just chilled out a bit and I just want to be comfortable. So now I just wear like J.W. Anderson. Like I wear shirts like this. And this is Art Club and Friends. It's like a South African brand. But it's weird because even now that I've toned down the way I dress, I wore like a Rick Owens distressed denim jacket the other day. And my mum thinks it's like the craziest, most avant-garde thing. So it's just funny, like how it's all about perspective.
They want someone to come up to them and ask them, "What are you rocking today?"
Oh, they love this. Oh, they love this.
Oh, if 6 was on?
Oh yeah, let me say right now, I got all.
And the BandAid on the nose. Thoughts on that?
They popped that up there too.
What I want to know is if the bandage on the plaster on his nose was for aesthetic. That's really weird. If that's just for aesthetic, that's interesting.
Wait a minute, that kind of did something.
New York Fashion Week, right on fit. What you got?
So we got the Stair Payton glasses on to start, Stair Payton sweater, Stair Payton denim, and Stair Payton shoes.
Okay, and what's the IG?
What's the IG? Stair Payton STER.
Oh, it's his.
Oh, it's just brand. Oh. How y'all feel about the interviewers fit? Holy shit.
Oh,
Looks like the front of the football mask.
To be fair, Stair Payton sounds like a high-end fashion brand.
I believed it. Didn't he pop up the price? How much was it?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
But start your own brand and you're already charging $300.
I want to start doing that. Strawberry Park. I'm gonna start upcharging y'all motherfuckers.
4,000.
4,000 for the SP fucking
BandAid.
for the BandAid.
We should make BandAids for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends on your customer base. Like they were saying that, oh, he just started a brand and he's selling things for $300. It depends on your customer and it depends on the quality of what you're creating. So like me, for example, I remember when I first launched my magazine and they were like £50 each to buy, like the print version. And my mum, I had a conversation with my mum. My mum was confused because she's like, why would people buy your magazine for £50 when Vogue sells for £10? And I was trying to explain to my mum, well, it's hardcover, the inner pages are 250 GSM. If you hold like a Vogue magazine like issue, everything feels like it's gonna rip because it's like made with the cheapest paper ever. And then on top of that, economies of scale, right? So when Vogue make millions of magazines, it's cheaper per unit, whereas I only made like so many hundred. That's gonna cost more. Then I don't have sponsors and my audience knows that. So where else am I going to make my money from? Whereas like Vogue has sponsors that pay them hundreds of thousands and millions. So all those things considered, it makes sense why my magazine would cost 5 times as like a Vogue magazine cover. But I think it's all about context. So with clothing, that is the thing as well. Economies of scale. It's costing you more to buy each fabric because you're a young designer and you don't have the relationships with factories yet where you can get discounts. There's so many aspects to it. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with someone starting a brand and selling pants or trousers for $350. So long as you know your market and you've seen that your market can actually like afford that and afford to pay that, then it's fine.
We drop a first aid kit? Come on now. Ain't no YouTubers ever drop a first aid kit.
You see kids on IG?
Oh, it's a fire. Why don't we do that?
Hey, New York Fashion Week, break down your fit. Go.
Shit, I'm wearing all my brand Humane.
Be part of the Justice League.
These are my Burnham Doom boots. Just dropped those recently. The rest of this is all unreleased. Like I made this right before I stepped out.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah. This is a moto jacket. I'm gonna be releasing soon. Some skinnies I just made. This is a new hoodie. Just made that.
Damn.
These glasses, I was supposed to drop these today, but I'm outside right now, so I may go ahead and drop these tomorrow.
All right, where can we find you at?
At Hubane_.
Hey, you got some followers.
Damn.
I do feel like fashion has took a turn a little. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, you see a lot of different outfits now. I think people just feel more free nowadays. You know what? I'm going to go out and wear, nipple tassels.
I mean,
That's a good thing. I think that everyone should be able to just wear what they want to wear. I don't think it matters, even if it looks crazy. I think fashion is self-expression and people should be free and open to express themselves any way they want. If that means wearing a t-shirt or if that means wearing something really avant-garde or wearing a plastic bag on their head. I think so long as they're not harming anyone else, I don't see anything wrong in people dressing the way they are. When I was younger, fashion wasn't as big as it is now. It wasn't as sexy. Social media just started. So the impact of social media wasn't the way it was when I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was MySpace and Facebook was just starting. So like people just didn't care about fashion. So when I was really into fashion, wearing all this stuff, people just used to make fun of me like, you weird. Not in a bad way. Like I used to play sports or whatever, but just in a joking way. People would be like, what are you wearing, bro? Whereas I feel like there's a lot less of that. I think people understand things more. There are brands that are avant-garde, like Rick Owens, that are really mainstream. So I think the general person that's into fashion in a way they're more open-minded than they were before. And I think that's a really big positive in fashion.
Most things have been done before. That's how you got the Hubane mud boots.
And I actually found a hoodie brand on Instagram where they have 8 sleeves.
What the fuck?
I just noticed they still have the plasters on their noses. That's
We're like,
funny.
Lord, I need that.
Did you guys see the new Misfit shoes?
In God's green earth.
It's tripping me out.
This is not real.
And they already went crazy with the Rocket Boy boots.
The red boots went crazy.
Those red boots had the internet in a chokehold for 2 weeks.
You have those boots and you take a picture. I want to share that with my friends.
Yeah.
Wait, this is real? There's an actual human wearing the product? Like,
It has the same effect as the hoverboards did.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
You know, the Lil Nas X shoe. Like,
And it's mob mentality too. These people think it's cool. Like, yep, well, okay, I think the red boots are cool too. I kind of want that.
but then
now,
there's people
you know?
that, like, if everybody hates it, like, I want to be the one that likes it though.
when the Lil Nas Satan shoes came out, we saw them in person. We made a video.
Yeah.
Just seeing them in person, I was like,
Everybody around the world's going crazy over it, can't even get their hands on it.
and I'm holding it. No hate to these guys. They eat, sleep, and breathe fashion. Everyone picks an identity. I'm an accountant. I'm a YouTuber. I wonder how much of them it like actually is that.
They always said don't judge a book by its cover, but you can still understand a person some way based off what they wear and how they act, just because that's the external identity part.
They see these visions of these grungy people. I want to be like that, so I want to do everything that looks.
You have to be influenced by something.
They're not trying it because they're doing it.
Let's say a grungy rock star, New York high fashion rock boy, whatever. And I'm like, okay, let me get the boots, let me get the ripped jeans, let me get the BandAid on the nose and the cigarette, and I do it. But that's not me. I'm just playing a role that I want to be because I think it looks cool.
Yeah, you're right, but that's how anything works. And you can tell who's authentic and who's not in a way. I can't go dressed like this, and then next week I start dressing like that, and people aren't gonna take me serious because first off, they're gonna be, oh, you're a poser, that's not how you really dress. Or do I have to ease into it? Do I have to get into that culture, that subculture of fashion?
The conclusion I'm coming to, you can fake an identity, you can fake a character. I see a cool rock star and I want to look like him, all right, I'll put on the tassels, whatever, but I won't believe that I'm really the rock star. I'm wearing the rock star's uniform. But if you do it long enough, you'll start to convince yourself that you are the rock star, and then you become like these two fashion guys where I think they really believe.
I don't even think there's a time frame. I think if you go into it thinking you already are, you can feel that
Valid.
right then.
Yeah, and maybe it's
I love how they're over analyzing it. How about some people just like archive fashion and they buy it and that's how they want to dress? Like, you don't have to over analyze it. Like, I've had this conversation with a lot of friends because, like, everyone has sort of their vice. So a good example, I've never been drunk in my entire life. I barely drink any alcohol, if ever. And my friends, like, I will drop $100 on some Under Mister accessory, and my friends are looking at me like, that's so stupid. Like, why'd you spend that much money on clothes? And every time my friends do that, I just have to think of like something that they don't need, that they spend a lot of money on. So for some friends, they go out a lot, and I'm like, bro, you spent the same money yesterday on the taxi to the club, the taxi back to your house, drinks at the club, the ticket to actually go to the event. You spent the same money I spent, just on 2 different things. And every time I point that out to them, they're like, oh yeah, actually it's true. Like, everyone has their vice. Some people spend loads of money on perfume. Some people spend a lot of money on supplements. Like, I do kickboxing. I have friends from kickboxing who spend so much money on their health to the point where it's like excessive. Like, they only buy like this really well-researched supplement that costs like hundreds of dollars. Like, everyone sort of has their vice. So I don't really judge people for spending a lot of money or being into a certain thing. I think everyone is into something.
It started off as, oh, I'm into hype beast things, I'm into wearing stuff and putting different things on and changing my appearance, and then it evolved into this, you know. Someone that dresses well, like, they probably didn't dress well like years before. We are kind of just a culmination of different things that we like. We get inspiration. Like, I like when Ryan wears a dress pants, I think that looks cool. I never tried that. It might be out of my comfort zone, but the moment I put that on, and I think I look good in a hoodie, so I put a hoodie on, and then you create your own little style within something you've been influenced by. And then
I like the concept of everyone is playing a character actively. I have grown into the character I'm in. Some people are playing a character and don't even realize it, and can change whenever they want. It requires you to really believe that you're this person. We would categorize
They're right about this, actually. They're really right. This definitely does happen. Because if I think of my fashion journey, when I first properly got into fashion, like when I found out who Yoji and all these people were, I wanted to dress in an avant-garde way because those were the designers that I was reading about, and I was really inspired by those designers, but I couldn't afford it. So that was when I used to wear a lot of Y3. I'd go on like Depop and Grailed and get like secondhand Y3, and some of those pieces I still have till now to show you how good quality Y3 is actually. I'm talking about, this is when I was like 17. Now I'm 25, so 8 years, and I still have some of these pieces. And like, there's nothing wrong with them, no damage. So I used to wear a lot of Y3, and to some people, I might have looked like a hype beast then, because I just wanted to wear Yoji, but I couldn't afford it. So I used to wear Y3, like head to toe, literally like a Y3 warrior, which is kind of looked hype beasty. And then I got old enough to like work and like have a job, and like I could save money over time and then buy some pieces I liked. And then I realized that I went too avant-garde because I wanted to dress a certain way for so long. When I finally had money to buy a few pieces, I just like overdid it. And now I've kind of just found myself completely where I just want to be comfortable and just, I like what I like. Some days I might look more avant-garde. Some days I might just wear a t-shirt literally, and jeans and loafers. So there's a cut-off point. There are some people who play a character. I think there was a point in my life when I was definitely playing a character and trying to like dress super avant-garde because I was supposed to be into these brands, and if you're into these brands, this is how you should look type of thing. But now that I'm older, I'm just so over that. So yeah, what they're saying is really true.
Ourselves is we're YouTubers. It's because I really genuinely believe that I am. I act like I am. Like I don't feel like I'm playing a character, yet I am.
And then on the other side, you also remember the times when you weren't a YouTuber.
And then I was a soccer guy. I'll see people who are attempting to be a character that I don't think they believe that they are. Are you really into fashion, or are you just trying to look cool and you just want to look like the people you see on these magazines or websites? Like that's not really you. There are cool, eclectic.
I like how they're like, oh, are you trying to look like people you see on these magazines or websites? And then literally like Pornhub came up.
Fashion TikToks on this guy's page. And I was like, damn, that's a cool ass fit. That's a cool ass person. And I believe it. I think there's an unspoken riz to it where it's like either you come across authentic or you don't.
And you can kind of tell, I guess.
If you like to take photos, right, that's your thing, you like to take videos or whatever, you would almost equate that to like your career. When it comes to fashion, it doesn't necessarily have to work that way. You can be a big fashion guy like these two people and not be like a fashion designer. But is it when you're at that level, you are trying to get into fashion design? If I'm wearing this type of stuff, if I know so much about fashion and the cut and sew about things, am I trying to be a fashion designer? Am I on?
The weird thing, so that's a good point that he brought up, because the weird thing about fashion designers is that you either have people like Rick Owens who wear everything that they make, or you have people like Raf Simons who just wears the same thing all the time, or Alexander McQueen, for example, who used to dress like some East London, but I mean, he's from where I grew up from. I was born in Lewisham, and that's where I grew up. Alexander McQueen is also from Lewisham. And in Southeast London, which is where Lewisham is, just for the American audience, that's kind of how people, it's just like casual, it's just like wear a football jersey and jeans. That's how like McQueen used to dress. And people used to find it so strange that he used to dress so casual, but he used to make these like elaborate dresses and like amazing tailored coats and stuff. I think everyone just has how they want to look and their aesthetic. I don't think it's good to put people into boxes.
On that route, or is it just a hobby? When there's raves and things like that, and you go, it's once a year or whatever, you go dressed in the occasion. This is New York Fashion Week. So is it something where, oh, what am I going to wear to Fashion Week? If you go to Disneyland, you're going to wear the Mickey ears. Like, you know what I mean?
When he goes to work, whatever his job is, if it's not fashion related, is he wearing that?
Dude's second jacket is tough, but his hair is pissing me off. They look homeless, but the jacket goes hard. The concept I'm attached to is like, are y'all really that? Or are you just trying to look grungy? Yeah, nothing matters.
Yeah.
Like, is that really you, bro? Like, when all the lights cut out and it's just you in your room, is that how you behave? Here's what irritates me. It's when rappers do this thing. So, like, I think people like Lil Uzi pioneered the emo goth,
somebody has to do it, right?
And then all these clones, they use the emojis, the bat emoji, and stars.
And that's that sixth sense of it.
Okay, that I do find weird. I've always found it weird that people try to be like celebrities. I don't like. I'm more a fan of just like be yourself and be individual to yourself. I found it weird. Like Playboy Carti has people that like literally want to dress exactly like Playboy Carti and like have that aesthetic. It's really odd. It's almost like cosplay. Lancey Foe has fans that want to dress like him. Yeah, I've always found that odd. You guys, let me know what you think. I find it really odd when people just like cosplay as a rapper or like a celebrity. It's really weird.
If it doesn't feel authentic when they do it.
I'm like, dude, stop.
I'm the vampire.
Vampire. That's not you, dude.
There's a different way to go about it. Like, you don't want to copy and paste somebody. There's a fine line between inspiration and just kind of blatantly taking someone's swag. You're better off just taking pieces of what you like, trying it out. If you feel confident, then that's a little piece of you now.
Playboy Carti logos. Where did they even decide this?
That guy, the guy wearing the blue t-shirt, he knows a lot about fashion. I don't know who he is or whatever. You guys can tell me if you know. He knows a lot about fashion because he literally said that you don't have to copy someone, but you can see something that you like that someone's wearing and try it out for yourself and see if it works. And if it works, you can incorporate that into your aesthetic rather than just like seeing a person and wanting to copy everything about them. And that's kind of how, like, because a lot of people say fashion trends are bad, and I think they're bad in terms of, you know, forcing people into thinking that they have to keep consuming and buying new clothes. But in terms of like finding new things, the good thing about fashion trends is you might see a trend that you're like, oh, that's interesting. Let me see if I can incorporate that into my style. You might try it and figure out that it doesn't work for you, but you also might try it and figure out it actually works for you. And in that case, you can incorporate that into your style moving forward. So I think that's what it's all about, really. So yeah, that guy is making some really good points.
This is what I want to be. The Marilyn Manson, was he just stealing from somebody else? Was everybody just stealing from everybody?
Yeah, people are just products of what they see. They're looking away from the thing, all blurry and shit. And I'm like, cut the crack. I'd have a hard time coming on here acting.
But you could, though. We could all put on a different voice, a different approach. We could literally do...
Okay, I think that's the video. But that was a really good video. Like I said, they clearly have more knowledge than... let me go check their channel, actually, because they seem to have more knowledge than you would usually see. Okay, so they don't really just focus on fashion, but they seem to have, like, a good knowledge on fashion. That's really interesting. But yeah, I had a lot of fun reacting to this. I do want to do a lot more reaction videos. I think they're just really fun to do. So if there are any videos that you guys want me to react to, let me know. And on that note, I'll be back with another video very soon. If you want to learn about fashion more effectively, I have an ebook on that, and you can find the link to that in the description below.